Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by. I've got an incredible story to share with you today. It's a roller coaster of emotions, and I think you'll agree. If you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Let's dive right in.
Where do I even start? If you're listening to this, I ask you to hear my story with an open heart. This has been the most harrowing experience of my life. Thank you for your time.
Music fades in, soft, melancholic tone.
It all began 2 years ago when I first noticed her at school. She wasn't in any of my classes, but her presence was captivating. Her long, flowing hair framed a face that seemed to glow with an inner light. Her eyes, deep and expressive, held a warmth that was both inviting and mysterious. She moved with a natural grace, each step exuding confidence and elegance. To me, she was the epitome of beauty, far surpassing any idealized images I'd encountered elsewhere. Yet, despite my admiration, I lacked the courage to approach her. Fast forward 2 years, and fortune placed us in the same class. I couldn't believe it. This was my chance. Summoning every ounce of bravery, I initiated a conversation. To my surprise, we clicked and soon became friends, forming a close knit group with some of my other classmates. Music shifts to a lighter, hopeful tune. XT Park, evening. The sun sets, casting a golden hue over the tranquil park. Leaves rustle gently in the breeze, and the distant laughter of children fades as the day winds down. Birds chirp softly, settling into their nests. The scent of blooming flowers lingers in the air. We sit on a weathered wooden bench beneath an ancient oak tree, its sprawling branches forming a natural canopy. The ambient sounds of the park create a serene backdrop, yet my heart races, pounding so loudly, I'm certain she can hear it. I take a deep breath, feeling the coolness of the evening air fill my lungs, and turn to face her. Her profile is illuminated by the fading sunlight, highlighting the delicate curve of her jaw and the gentle slope of her nose. The soft glow accentuates the warmth in her eyes as she gazes ahead, seemingly lost in thought. Summoning every ounce of courage, I speak, my voice trembling slightly. I've been meaning to tell you something for a while now. Being around you has become the highlight of my days. I cherish every moment we spend together, and I've developed feelings for you. She turns to me, her eyes widening slightly in surprise. A flush rises to her cheeks, and she tucks a strand of hair behind her ear, a nervous habit I've come to adore. She opens her mouth as if to respond, then hesitates, her gaze dropping to her hands clasped in her lap. After a pause that feels like an eternity, she looks back up, her eyes meeting mine with a mixture of sincerity and regret.
Oh, thank you. That's very sweet, but I have a boyfriend.
The words hang in the air, and though I'd anticipated this possibility, the sting is sharper than expected. I nod slowly, offering a faint smile to mask the disappointment gnawing at my heart. Int bedroom, night. The room is dimly lit by the soft glow of a bedside lamp. The faint hum of the city outside filters through the closed window. The protagonist, a young man in his late teens, sits on the edge of his bed, holding his phone with a mix of anticipation and anxiety. Narrator, VO. We continued our friendship, treading a delicate line between platonic and something more. Each interaction was charged with unspoken words and lingering glances. Then, one night, my phone buzzed unexpectedly. It was her.
He glances at the caller ID, surprise flashing across his face. He answers.
Hey, I know it's late, but can we meet up?
Her voice is slightly slurred, the background noise revealing the muffled bass of party music and distant laughter.
She was at the party, her words tinged with the unmistakable signs of intoxication. Concern and curiosity swirled within me.
Of course. Where are you?
Can you pick me up? I really need to see you.
I grab my jacket, heart pounding, and heads out the door. The streets are slick with recent rain, reflecting the neon lights of the city. He drives with purpose, the wipers rhythmically clearing the droplets from the windshield. Pulling up to the address she provided, he spots her standing under a flickering street lamp, arms wrapped around herself. She approaches the car, her steps slightly unsteady. Sliding into the passenger seat, the scent of alcohol and her familiar perfume fills the space.
Thanks for coming.
Her voice is soft, almost vulnerable. The tension was palpable, a mix of concern for her state and the ever present undercurrent of my feelings for her. Do you want to talk or just drive?
She looks at him, eyes glistening.
Can we go to our spot?
He nods, understanding. The park is deserted, the moon casting silvery shadows over the landscape. They walk to their usual bench, the one nestled under the old oak tree. The leaves rustle gently in the night breeze.
We sit close, the silence stretching between us, filled with unsaid words. The night air was thick with tension, every shared glance a question left unanswered.
She turns to him, eyes searching his face.
I feel so lost sometimes.
I reach out, placing a comforting hand over hers. I'm here for you, always.
Their eyes lock, the world around them fading. Slowly, hesitantly, they lean into each other. Their lips meet, a gentle brush that deepens as they both give in to the pull that's been between them for so long.
The kiss is tender, filled with pent up emotion and longing. Her hand moves to his cheek, fingers tracing the line of his jaw. He responds by wrapping an arm around her waist, pulling her closer. In that moment, everything else ceased to exist. It was just us, two souls colliding in the quiet of the night.
They pull back slightly, foreheads resting together, breaths mingling.
I've wanted to do that for a while.
He smiles softly, heart swelling.
Me too. We sit in the embrace of the night, the boundaries between friendship and something more forever altered.
Music swells, then fades to a somber tone. But reality was more complicated. She still had a boyfriend. The next day, he couldn't pretend nothing had happened. They continued their secret rendezvous, making memories he thought were special. Then came the first turning point.
Can you believe this girl? She actually chose to return to him. I mean, seriously? After everything? The pain was excruciating. Sleepless nights, physical chest aches. Yet, whenever we talked, that pain momentarily subsided. It's like my heart was a glutton for punishment.
Sound of heartbeat, slow and heavy.
She chose to return to him. The pain was excruciating. Sleepless nights, physical chest aches. Yet, whenever we talked, that pain momentarily subsided. Blinded by love, I, I couldn't see how much she was hurting me. You'd think I'd have learned my lesson by now. But no, here I am, contemplating sending her a message. It's like touching a hot stove and then wondering why my hand hurts.
He sighs, runs a hand through his hair, and starts typing.
They say insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Well, call me insane because I couldn't resist her pull.
He hits send and lies back on the bed, phone resting on his chest, waiting for a reply.
And just like that, I was back in the game I never wanted to play. The pain was visceral, a relentless ache that settled deep within my chest, making each breath a conscious effort. Sleep became a luxury I couldn't afford. Nights were spent tossing, turning, and replaying every moment in my mind.
He lies down, staring at the ceiling, the dim light casting shadows that dance like specters of his memories.
Yet, when she reached out again, her words a lifeline I couldn't resist grasping, I found myself drawn back into her orbit.
Intro coffee shop, daytime. The soft chime of a bell announces his entrance. The rich aroma of freshly brewed coffee envelops him, mingling with the subtle scent of pastries. Sunlight filters through large windows, casting a warm glow over the rustic wooden tables and mismatched chairs. The murmur of conversations creates a gentle hum, occasionally punctuated by the hiss of the espresso machine.
I spot her seated at a corner table, her fingers nervously tracing the rim of a ceramic mug. Her gaze is distant, fixed on the swirling patterns of foam atop her untouched latte. The steam rises, curling and dissipating into the air, much like the words they struggle to find.
He approached, each step measured, the weight of unspoken emotions anchoring him. She looks up, their eyes meeting, a silent exchange laden with history and hurt.
We sat across from each other, the table a chasm filled with tension and unsaid words. The coffee shop's warmth contrasted sharply with the cold distance between us.
He pulls out the chair, the scrape of wood against tile echoing louder than intended. Settling into the seat, he clasps his hands together, knuckles whitening as he fights the urge to reach out.
The air was thick, not with the comforting scent of coffee, but with the remnants of our fractured connection.
She shifts in her seat, the sleeves of her sweater pulled over her hands, a protective barrier or perhaps a shield against the chill of their conversation.
I I didn't know if you'd come.
Her voice is soft, barely rising above the ambient noise, yet it slices through the tension like a blade. Neither did I. I offer a wry smile, though it doesn't reach my eyes. A barista passes by, placing a fresh cup before me, nods in thanks, though my focus remains unwaveringly on her. The coffee sat between us, a silent witness to our turmoil. Its warmth did little to thaw the frost that had settled over our relationship.
She takes a tentative sip, the ceramic mug trembling slightly in her grasp. He watches, noting the dark circles beneath her eyes, the way her hair falls messily around her face, a stark contrast to the composed image she usually presented.
I made a mistake. I hurt you in ways I can't take back.
Her eyes glisten with unshed tears, reflecting the overhead lights like fractured stars.
We both did, voice steady, but the undercurrent of pain is unmistakable. The conversation meandered through apologies and regrets, each word a step through a minefield of emotions. We danced around the core of our pain, afraid that direct confrontation would shatter the fragile truce.
He reaches for his cup, the heat seeping into his palms, grounding him. The first sip is bitter, a stark reminder of reality.
In that small coffee shop, amid strangers engrossed in their own lives, we attempted to mend what had been broken. But some fractures run too deep, and no amount of shared lattes or whispered apologies can bridge the divide.
They sit in silence, the world around them continuing unabated. The clatter of dishes, the laughter of friends, the rhythmic tapping of a keyboard all serve as a backdrop to their shared solitude.
We parted ways that day, with the taste of coffee and sorrow lingering on our tongues, knowing that some things, once lost, can never truly be reclaimed.
He stands, leaving a few bills on the table. She watches him go, the door's chime signaling both an end and a beginning. Music briefly uplifts, then darkens.
We spent an incredible week together, dates, kisses, almost more. It felt perfect. But perfection is often an illusion. After that week, she met with her ex to clear things up. Suddenly, she stopped responding to my messages. That night, she called, furious.
Sound of arguing voices muffled.
She accused me of spreading false rumors about us, something I hadn't done. Despite my pleas, she wouldn't believe me. She demanded we take a break from each other. Desperate to fix things, I went to her house the next day, leaving gifts at her door. She ignored me. I tried to explain, to plead my case, but she wasn't having any of it. No matter what I said, she was convinced I was the villain in her story.
He collapses onto his bed, staring at the ceiling, the weight of the misunderstanding pressing down on him.
Then she drops the bomb. I think we need a break. Just like that. I felt like the floor had been yanked out from under me.
Determined, he sits up, a plan forming in his mind.
The next day, I decided to make a grand gesture. I went to her house, armed with her favorite flowers and a small gift that reminded me of our time together.
Intro, her house, daytime. He stands at her doorstep, nervously adjusting the ribbon on the gift bag, heart pounding.
I knocked, waited, hoping she'd answer, that we'd talk, clear the air. Minutes pass. He knocks again, this time softer, desperation creeping in. But nothing. No response. It was like I didn't exist.
He places the gifts gently by the door, taking a step back, staring at them, hoping she'd see them and understand.
Walking away from that doorstep was one of the hardest things I've ever done. It felt like leaving a piece of my heart behind.
Sound of car approaching, tires screeching. X-day parking lot, daytime.
Then, out of nowhere, her ex confronted me. He beat me severely. Hospital level injuries, broken tooth, black eye, brain injury. He warned me to stay away from her. As I lay in the hospital, I learned the most devastating news. The car door swings open aggressively. Her ex, a tall, imposing figure with a hardened expression, steps out, his eyes locked onto me with unmistakable hostility. Voice cold, measured.
We need to talk.
Before I can respond, he closes the distance between us, his posture radiating menace. Before I could utter a word, he was in my face, his intentions glaringly clear. Voice rising.
You think you can just waltz into her life and mess things up?
He shoves me hard against my car. The sudden impact knocks the wind out of me.
Struggling to catch breath.
I haven't done anything. I tried to reason with him, but he wasn't listening. Furious.
Stay away from her. This is your only warning.
He doesn't wait for a reply. His fist connects with my face, sending me sprawling to the ground. Pain explodes in my jaw. The next moments were a blur of pain and fear. He didn't hold back. He looms over me, delivering a brutal kick to my ribs. I curl up instinctively, trying to shield myself. Broken tooth, black eye, and a pain in my head that signaled something far worse.
Satisfied, he steps back, breathing heavily.
Last chance. Stay away.
He turns on his heel, gets back into his car, and speeds off, leaving me battered and alone.
Intro hospital room, night. The room is bathed in a harsh, sterile whiteness, the fluorescent lights overhead casting an unyielding glow that reflects off the pristine tiled floors. The scent of antiseptic hangs heavily in the air, a constant reminder of the clinical environment. Machines surround the bed, their rhythmic beeping and occasional whirring punctuating the oppressive silence. He lies motionless on the hospital bed, bandaged and bruised, body a patchwork of injuries. A thin, scratchy blanket covers me, offering little comfort against the cold, impersonal atmosphere. The heart monitor beside him emits steady beeps, each one echoing in his ears, a monotonous soundtrack to his pain. As the night drags on, the relentless beeping becomes a cruel lullaby, lulling him into a restless, tormented sleep, where the boundaries between reality and nightmare blur.
As I lay in the hospital, every movement sending jolts of pain through my body, I receive the most devastating news. My phone vibrates on the bedside table. I wince as I reach for it, reading the message with blurred vision.
Text message from friend.
Hey, just heard? She's back with him.
She had gone back to him after everything. The betrayal cut deeper than any of my physical wounds.
Music reaches a climactic low point.
The day she called for space, she had gotten back together with him. I was shattered. I blocked her on all platforms trying to heal, but she reached out again, apologizing. Foolishly, I believed her. We resumed contact, but then she blamed me for the assault.
Sound of text messages, rapid notifications.
She questioned why I stayed after he called me, twisting the situation to make it seem like it's my fault. Despite everything, I continued to communicate with her, until one day, she sent me a video with a message.
Stay away from people that only look at things from their perspective.
Music fades out, silence.
That was the breaking point. All the suppressed anger surfaced. I blocked her on everything, determined to move on. But the scars remain. This experience has profoundly changed me. I share my story hoping no one else endures such pain. No one deserves this.
Music returns, hopeful undertone.
Though I don't blame myself, I carry regrets. But love is a powerful force, often beyond our control.
And that's a wrap. Hope you enjoyed the ride. Hit the comments with your highs and lows. I'd love to hear from you.